Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. So this is a Harley Benton Amarok. I know I accidentally called it a Ragnarok in the unboxing video, but it's not, it's the Amarok. And it's one of the more interesting projects I've had the opportunity to work on with the brand. It's one of the highest spec, most modern-oriented models that they've ever done. And even though in typical Harley Benton fashion, the price is pretty ridiculous in a good way for what you're getting, to be honest, I wasn't sure if Harley Benton was really ready to do this kind of thing yet. So even though the first round sold out super quick and the new ones aren't expected in for another 9 to 12 weeks according to the website, I still thought I'd make a video to see how the most expensive Harley Benton range actually came out in real life. Been waiting a while to show these off on camera, so let's take a closer look. And for this video as well, you may have noticed that I've been using the Rev G20 amp. With everybody still being encouraged to stay at home as much as possible, using this time to take a step back and be creatively productive is one way to add positivity to what is otherwise a very scary time. And Rev is actually giving away some of their D20 and G20 amps as a way to give back to the community and encourage you to make music at home. You should definitely check out my actual demo as well. If you haven't already, it goes into all the details of why this amp is one of the coolest pieces of gear to come out this year. I mean, it sounds great, obviously, and it's got built-in 2 notes torpedo integration. So you can load in any virtual cab, meaning basically unlimited customization, and record that directly into your interface without any mics, any cabs, anything like that, so you don't piss off your non-metalhead neighbors. Like, that's how I do all my demos in this city apartment without getting insta-evicted. It's a really cool amp, but anyways, the point is they want you to get a new amp by being creative. So all you need to do, upload a video of an original music clip. Doesn't matter if it's an 8-minute fully produced prog Odyssey or a 10-second iPhone video clip. Doesn't matter if you're shredding your balls off or just riffing out some mindless chugs. It's not a contest. We just want to see people picking up the guitar, playing, and being creative. Make sure to include the hashtag MakeMusicAtHome in the title of your video. You can do it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. although I do recommend you do it on Instagram, that way it's easiest to find you. Then make sure you're following both me and Rev on your social media platform of choice, and fill out the form by following the link below for your chance to win. They're not sponsoring this video or anything, I just really like their amps and the dudes working over there, and I think it's really cool that they're just giving away amps to promote creativity. So yeah, you've got 2 weeks to enter. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, or I guess hearing rather. But for now, I'll get back into the review of this guitar. And to be honest, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the video past this point. The Amarok guitars came out a while ago, by which I mean like 2 months, but in internet time that may as well have been the Jurassic period, and I'm still not really sure. I just kind of wanted to record something with the EMG retroactives since I'd never tried them before. So that's what they sound like in a mix. I'll run through isolated sound clips in a bit as well. I guess I'll just talk about the concept and why certain choices were made, and compare what I put down on paper to this final product. And as I said, they're all completely out of stock for now. You can pre-order from the next batch, although I do hear that they're pretty back-ordered. Not as back-ordered as the EX84s, which I think is my favorite project that I've been on so far, besides my signature, obviously. But it's insane and kind of unreal that all these projects I've had a design role in have been received so well and sold out so quickly. The support and response has just been amazing, so shout out to you guys, for real. So with this Amarok series, the goal was to identify and combine all of my favorite and most popular elements of modern super strats into a good-looking, affordable package. Neck-through construction was something that I thought was very important for this series. It looks real cool, and the stained mahogany wings are dope. Then the sustain and playability benefits are amazing. So that was kind of the priority spec, and then we just kind of built around things from there. So I'll just give you the quick lowdown. From there, we added ebony fingerboards, Grover locking tuners, glow-in-the-dark inlays, Graphtec tusk nuts, stainless steel frets, and EMG pickups. In euros, because Thomann is based in Germany and that's the currency they set their prices in, the 6 is $499, the baritone $549, and the 7 $599. And that makes the Amaroks the most expensive series in Harley Benton's current lineup to date, but at the same time, I think we can agree that, at least in terms of specs, that's an incredible deal. And I will be going over each of the other two in their own separate videos. Make sure you're subscribed, have the bell ticked, blah blah blah, YouTube things, because they're all very similar in spec, but to me, feel surprisingly different and inspire different types of playing, but I'll save that for those videos. Now, because these were going to be quite pricey as far as Harley Bentons go, they needed to look the part. Otherwise, no one was going to give them a chance, not even look at the spec sheet. So we went with satin black burst finishes, faux natural binding on the top. I've got the 6 in blue black burst, the baritone in red black burst, and the 7 in green burst. I've also got a couple of prototypes in regular black burst with custom voiced Roswells. We ended up not using those, but more on that later. But yeah, even the EMGs have blacked out pole pieces to make them look sleeker, something that EMG did specifically just for this model. Personally, I think all the colors turned out great, and I always feel like satin feels higher end on lower price guitars than an ultra gloss, so that was a must for these. So if you're expecting an Ibanez-like shred neck on these, sorry to disappoint you. While Ibanez is a major name in modern shred-style guitars, their ultra-thin D-shaped necks can be slightly polarizing, to say the least. This has a modern C-neck, more like what you'd find on a Schecter, for example. Same Korean low-profile bridge we used on the Fusion T hardtails. The response was great on that, so we decided to use them on these as well in a matte black finish to make it more modern and match the Grover locking tuners. Now, spec for price, that's not really something that I was worried about with these. We all know that's something Harley Benton can do, being a house brand for one of the largest online music instrument retailers in the world. The question was, this is not a limited edition, this is a regular production model. Could QC keep up? Because I feel like €500 is kind of like that unofficial cutoff where those funny, affordable guitar issues are considered acceptable. Especially recently, and also especially with Harley Benton fans, expectations at 600, 700 euros, that's a whole different ballgame, especially since Harley Bentons ship from Germany and are purchased sight unseen. Alright, so the good news is no major guitar breaking issues. Rolled fingerboard edges and stainless steel frets, very good. I mean, it's a really satisfying guitar to play. The neck isn't twisted, the setup from Germany was good. The fretwork is mostly decent, but especially on the lower frets, there are a few that have slightly sharp ends. There's some slight blemishes on the top where the stain didn't quite take. I'm not sure exactly what's up with this switch, but it is super wiggly and sticks out because it's like the only component on the guitar that actually feels cheap. The pickup routes are quite clean, which you don't normally see on accessibly priced guitars with direct mounted humbuckers, but the routing for the recessed knobs either isn't clean enough or isn't big enough because both controls have trouble turning. It just scrapes along the edges, which is super annoying. Overall, I think it's acceptable for this $499 six-string, which isn't a super high price as far as guitar goes, because overall it does feel like a more expensive guitar than it actually is. But still, 500 euros isn't a small amount of money. It makes me worry about consistency, which again should be a major priority when asking customers to spend this amount of money sight unseen on a guitar that ships, at least for most of us, from a different country. Now, part of that price is that for the first time ever, these Harley Bentons come with big brand name pickups. No Roswells here. Now, going with EMGs was something that was debated for a while. And I'll be straight up, when it was suggested, I was very much not into the idea of using EMGs at all. And to be clear, not because they were EMGs, just not into using big brand name pickups. One of the key selling points of like the higher tier Harley Bentons to me, and I'm talking like the Fusions, my signature, is that they're almost pre-built mod platforms. The build quality is good, great playing guitars, good nut, good tuners, and the generic Roswell pickups are usable. The custom voice ones and my signature are actually really good in my very biased opinion. And if you got Roswells, well, one, they're Roswells, so there's no guilt in swapping them out, and two, you're paying less up front, so it makes more sense as a mod platform if you were planning on getting it to swap in bare knuckles. And this would make less sense as a mod platform because you've already paid for the EMGs. So that was kind of my mindset: focus on maximum playability for a great mod base at the best price possible, and let the player customize it to their own sound taste. We were even planning on doing a custom voice Roswell set like we did on my signature, but turns out we could get a good deal on these EMGs, and since they were clearly kind of metal focused guitars, it made more sense to put EMGs in these rather than put them in the Fusions, which are pretty non-genre specific. They didn't add too much to the price, so it made enough sense to throw them in. So, as I said, I'd never tried these before. They're not too common as stock options on guitars. Very uncommon, actually. Besides these, the only series I can think of that come with retroactive stock is the Schecter Sun Valleys, which is a shame because I actually really like them. They're not your typical EMG sound. Like, the most common criticism of the EMG 81 is that it sounds too compressed, too sterile. The Hot 70 is brighter, it sounds more open, sounds more alive. Like, besides the headset, I think this is my favorite EMG bridge pickup. Actually, you know what am I doing? Instead of just talking about the sound, let me just show you. So I'll compare it to the Bonebreaker set, which is essentially an 8160A. It also has a ceramic bridge, Alnico neck combo, and that should make for the most accurate comparison with this Hot 70 set. Of course, I'm playing through the Rev G20, and I've loaded in Glenn Fricker's 4x12 Mesa IR for the dirty, and a 2 Notes Silver 77 2x12 IR for cleans. make your own sound conclusions on that. But for what it's worth, I actually really like the Hot 70 set. EMG set out to make a pickup with a classic passive sound and response, but with the benefits of actives, and that's exactly what they've done. They're maybe not as ultra modern voiced as the rest of the overall guitar aesthetic would suggest, but I mean, it's a solid upgrade over your standard Roswell HAF set you're used to seeing in Harley Benton's, especially if we're specifically talking about in the chug department. So the Amarok line is undeniably cool. In terms of spec for dollar, it's really hard to beat if you're looking for this kind of modern flavor neck through super strat. But is Harley Benton ready to compete in the mid-tier with regular production models? As far as I know, extra care was taken with my signature because it was a special limited edition run that they really wanted to get right. And here, I mean, for €4.99, the specs and the look is kind of unreal. Like, I'm very, very proud of what we were able to stuff in here. Most importantly, it also feels great to play. But some of the stuff on here, the blemishes, the wiggly switch, the slightly sharp fret ends, I think for $4.99 there should be realistic expectations. Like, there's no guarantee it'll be perfect from any brand. Now above $4.99, like with the baritone or the 7-string, realistically consistency is the real hurdle. And spoiler for the forthcoming videos on those, right now you can strike gold, but it's also still a bit of a gamble. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button. These are just my opinions. I'd love to know what you think, so let me know down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's the big red button down there, and it massively helps me out. You can also take the bell for notifications. That way YouTube might let you know when I upload a new video. Social media, merch, and Discord server links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.